So sometimes, we go down the route of life thinking, I'm really open. Are you? Sure? What sort of questions are you asking yourself? Like, when was the last time you really humbled yourself? And sometimes falling on the floor and tasting the dirt, it's not a bad thing.
It's very difficult. I mean, our brain is wired to think. Our brain is wired to protect us.
Yeah.
So intentionally, the brain doesn't let certain questions to surface. So we really need to train ourselves to say, hey, this question is tough, but I can handle it. So it takes. That's how resilience is built.
Yeah.
That you keep on reassuring yourself that things will be okay, even if you're asked a tough question or even if you're in a tough situation. You build that mental fortitude. It doesn't come on its own. It's something that you've built.
You need to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I know it's a cliche that many people say nowadays, but it's so true. The avoidance of pain is the avoidance of skill, growth.
Yeah.
It's the avoidance of growth. You can't have the nicest roses unless you prune the tree. So I really feel strongly about the fact that we cannot, put ourselves into this safety glass box and avoid, pain or negativity, because that's how we grow. And I know it's very cliche, and it's not just about going into the gym. It's about, facing your fears. It's about understanding, like, there is something bigger out there that I need to go through the uncomfortable to get through.
Yes, and what I personally learned, is that I did mention this in some podcast episodes, is that what we are afraid of, the monster inside our head evolves.
Yeah.
So we might outgrow a previous version of that monster, but it keeps haunting us. So if we have self-doubt, I'm pretty sure that you still experience self-doubt from time to time.
Of course.
Even though you've been successful in your career.
All the time.
It just changes form. It just changes form, but it keeps on haunting. I mean, it's constantly there. People think that it disappears. And so my background is psychology, and I have very close friends of mine who are therapists and counselors and in this sort of field. And I still practice I still practice as a psychologist, but I see things in a more practical way. In the sense that I've been saying this a lot because I really wanted to get it out there. I think there has been enough awareness about mental diversity, as you've mentioned the word as well, and diversity in general. What I think we need to do now is educate and teach people how they can love themselves and discover themselves. You ask a very interesting question, even in your podcast as well. Who are you? And that's, most of your guests find it difficult to answer. Why? And it's a rhetoric question in reality.
Yeah, Mashek. Look, and that's the whole concept. Look, the reason behind the Unbranded podcast was to try and understand if along the journey of building a brand, the brand takes everything from you, and then at some point in time, you grow out of it. And I see this a lot in organizations when everybody when the founders become labeled as a ductile bandwagon. I know by design that I will not be at bandwagon forever, because at some point, and it might be sooner than later, there might be, and there probably are, better people to take the role I have. And I need to move out of their way to give them the opportunity to grow into the role that I started. And it will be painful, and it will be uncomfortable, and a lot of people will say, you shouldn't have done this, and yeah, but at some point in time, I need to move out of the way of the future. And it's not bandwagon to Pete, it's neither Pete or bandwagon. I am me, and bandwagon is bandwagon. And bandwagon is successful because of all the people that have been there. I was just lucky to be there first. I always say that.
Yeah.
Yes, I might have had the vision, but somebody else might have come with the similar vision or a better vision, could have made us more successful faster. This imposter syndrome, this feeling of, the doubt, it's always going to be there. Always. You just get better at ignoring it or better at overcoming it. The pain doesn't go. You just become stronger.